Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, and I am presiding among the beautiful Swamp Mangroves of South Florida. And today is March 13th, 2014, Thursday night. A little cool outside, enjoying it. So I'm just going through my Twitter account and found something interesting that was circulated by Blacklisted News, and it's originally from dailyslave.com, and it's entitled "Rand Paul Firmly Supports Zionist Agenda Against Russia." It was published today, to be exact, and it's a really interesting concept here, story. So I'm just going to read it and take it from there, alright? It is completely insane that there are people in the so-called freedom and patriot movement that support Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. This man who has completely sold his soul to the interests of international Zionism. If his previous meeting with neoconservatives and his trip to Israel wasn't enough, his recent opinion piece published in Time magazine conclusively proves which side he's on. Paul says that he is supportive of taking decisive measures against Vladimir Putin's alleged aggression, even though there is no proof that any real Russian invasion of Crimea has taken place. The Russians have had a military base there for years, and many of the men roaming the streets appear to be members of the local militias. Never mind the fact that Zionists like Victoria Nuland throughout the U.S. State Department and associate non-NGOs, which stands for non-governmental organizations, were the ones that funded the violent uprising in Ukraine, which created this whole mess to begin with. Each day goes by, Paul is showing us that he's nothing more than a Zionist masquerading around as a libertarian. It is a complete joke. Look at the above picture. Paul wearing a Jewish skull cap or a yarmulke, standing in front of the Wailing Wall. That picture says it all. From Rand Paul's op-ed published by Time magazine, which is a link to it, Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine is a gross violation of the nation's sovereignty and an affront to the international community. His continuing occupation of Ukraine is completely unacceptable, and Russia's president should be isolated for his actions. It is America's duty to condemn these actions in no uncertain terms. It's our role as a global leader to be the strongest nation in opposing Russia's last aggression. Putin must be punished for violating the Budapest Memorandum, and Russia must learn that the U.S. will isolate it if it insists on acting like a rogue nation. This does not and should not require military action. No one in the U.S. is calling for this, but it will require other actions and leadership, both of which President Obama unfortunately lacks. I recommend a number of specific and decisive measures to punish Putin on his ongoing aggression. Now let's hit this little link here from the op-ed. Oops, hold on, it's coming in right now. A little timely here. This is from Time magazine. It was actually released on March 9th of that same year. And let's just gotta go down a little bit. According to this, he supports economic sanctions, which is considered a declaration of war. Including his own father, Ron Paul, will attest to that. And of course, many of the needless laws and regulations. So that's one of them, sanctions. So right there, he could be a pacified warmonger, allegedly. I'll just say that precisely. So it is not surprising at all, to be very sincere. Even when people try to think he's Ron Paul's kid, but he never was Ron Paul. Never follow the hype. Always look at his voting record. He voted wisely. He had some good battles on the floor. Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to condemn that. But he could be considered a streaky fellow. when he went on Sean Hannity around 2012, roughly April or May, and made a statement he endorsed Mitt Romney. I'm like, well, why are you gonna associate to a proud flip-flopper? And what's his excuse? Oh, he has a big family. Well, right there he chose poorly. And that's why I always tell people, I don't follow the hype. It's just because it's just rhetoric, because the fact is this: when it comes to politics, these servants are never your friends. You have to be on top of the game to keep them on their toes. And of course, you talk about the Budapest Memorandum, and I wouldn't, it says it here too, but let it be clear, if I were president, I wouldn't let Vladimir Putin get away with it. It's real funny about this whole thing with the senator, and there's definitely a photo of him. Oops, get back. So hold on there. So it's just very not shocked at all. I'll make that very clear. And if you're going to be involved with a particular organization or have those agendas, even from AIPAC or Israel, doesn't matter. Having foreign entities trying to tell the United States of America on how to do things is very treacherous, in which John Jay wrote Federalist Papers 2 through 5, which is concerning dangers from foreign force and influence. And I'm going to hit this little link here, and I will definitely put this on my Facebook, my Spreaker page. And like it says here, the second paragraph of Federalist Papers 2, nothing is more certain than a dispensable necessity of government, and it is equally undeniable. Whenever and however it is instituted, the people must cede to some of their natural rights in order to vest in their requisite power. It is well worthy of consideration thereof. Rather, it would be conducive more to be interested of the people of America, and that they should, to all general purposes, one nation under one federal government, or that they should divide themselves into separate confederacies and give to the head of each time some kinds of powers which they are advised to place in one national government. So we'll just go a little bit down further here. We'll hit last papers, Federalist Papers 5. Same independent journal. And of course it says here, right here is the third paragraph of Federalist Papers 5, when he states, the history of Great Britain is one with which we are in general the best acquainted, and gives us many useful lessons. We may profit by their experience without paying the price which it costs them. Although it seems obvious to common sense that the people of such an island should be but one nation, yet we find they were for ages divided into three, and those three were almost constantly embroiled in quarrels and war with one another. Notwithstanding their true interest with respect to the continental nations was really the same, yet by the arts and policies and practices of those nations, their mutual jealousies were perpetually kept inflamed, and for a long series of years they were far more inconvenient and troublesome than they were useful and assisting to each other. And even like down here, last paragraph of Federalist Papers 5 reads, let candid men judge then whether the division of America into any given number of independent sovereignties will tend to secure us against the hostilities and the proper interference of foreign nations. So if you're going to be in this little clique like the Zionist movement, which is a secular agenda trying to influence a sovereign nation, how to do things and what to get involved with, like AIPAC, Council of Foreign Relations, etc. Trilateral Commission as well. That's what's dangerous. And Senator Rand Paul is playing this little game, according to this article and the photo. Everyone's got to make their own decisions, my friends. I want to be around, support someone as a freedom lover, sovereign thinker, rather than her conformist. That's all I have to say. All right, that's it for now. And I will post this on my Spreaker page, including the Feathers Papers page itself. Just hit 2 through 5. I will post it on there too. And you can hit me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, YouTube. And as always, demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate societies. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.